Thank you, everybody, for joining us for Open Friday Coffee. I normally start with a slide deck because I either have had questions or I've had people that wanted to show up and had some things they wanted me to discuss. So let me get that pulled up for you right now. And today is kind of a fun day for us. Let me get my screen here for you. All right. It's good to see you, Amelia. Thank you for joining us. And so let me get the slide deck going and just wanted to say welcome so much. Thank you so much for being with Open Friday Coffee. This is the Thanksgiving edition. Why? Because we need to talk about pie. And why do I love Thanksgiving so much? It's because not only do I love physics and mathematics, I'm a scientist through and through, but pie is just a beautiful thing. It's got a crunchy crust, it has sweetness in the center, there's all these different textures. I love pie. And of course, Thanksgiving is the time of our harvest. And so I want you to take a few moments, and we're going to be discussing this. This is the theme of today's Open Friday Coffee, is all to think about how much you've grown. Think about all the things that have happened to you in 2024. When I think about that, I kind of get overwhelmed. So I don't think about all the things, but I think about just ways that things have moved for me and where life really was quite delicious. Yes, I'm a very sensory person, very much enjoy what I experience in this life. And so I just wanted to take a moment to share with you my absolutely most favoritist dessert. And people are like, well, what kind of pie is your favorite? And I go, yes. I have not met a piece of pie I didn't like. We become very intimately acquainted. The other thing I'm very thankful for is Open Friday Coffee itself. This is truly the highlight of my week. I always look forward to this. I love having you here. It was started by Michael Whitehouse, and so I have to shout out. And believe it or not, this has been running for 2.5 years now. We've been running the Open Friday Coffee, and the thing about it has been that Michael saved me 5 hours a week with this system. Some people think it was done totally for business reasons. No, this is the only way I knew to grab my friends and go, look, I'm going to be here at this place. Join me. And it just has worked out. I also want to say thank you so much to the people who helped me land the many contracts that I've had over the last years. It was due to referrals and stuff like that. For those of you who may not know, I offer 40% referral fees for whatever people purchase from me. Yeah, I have an affiliate program, but really, I just want to thank the people because it's the relationships that I've been able to build with new clients, new customers, and new programs that I'm so very much appreciative of. Also, I'm so much appreciate my writers. This is November, and this is your writing habit. This is National Novel Writing Month, 50,000 words in 30 days or bust, right? That's what we do. It was because of teaching a lot of these writers how to handle their creativity. They had so much creativity, and it was wonderful to be able to talk to them about how you bring routines and systems and how you work with your own personal deadlines and hold yourself in a place of creativity, not accountability, creativity. As long as you're staying creative, you're staying in your happy place, and we want people to stay in their happy place. I thank NaNoWriMo because I've written 22 books because of the support and the effort that I got back in 2015 with it. Now, back in the dark ages of 2005, I wrote a book called Money It's Not Just for Rich People. Guess what? It needs a little bit of an update because Facebook did not have a like button. YouTube was called MySpace. When this wrote, you didn't have digital banking. There are so many things you have now that this book, the principles are still the same. Trust me, nothing has really changed with money, just the way we interact with the systems that use money. Okay, so that's what needs an update. If you want, Lynette's going to put in the chat how you can join our beta reader program. Many of you have already signed up. What does this do? You're going to help me as I rewrite this, make sure it stays up to date, as well as educate me on how you're using money so we can put that kind of stuff in the book. What kind of apps you use, what do you find helpful when it comes to kind of parceling out your money, that sort of thing. The other thing is most people are familiar with my You're on Mute card. You get it for free. Don't worry, you don't go into any kind of a list or anything. I just like being able to give that to people for free. The book that may help you if you happen to run your own business is The Thriving Solopreneur. This is where we talk about your income producing activities. I help you with systems and routines for your 4-hour-a-week system on how to start working on your when you're working on your business, and then how to work in your business. Those are the two big ones that we differentiate and talk to you about. We talk about the 4 critical hours. I used to have a download for this, but now Lynette's just going to put into the chat the article that I wrote on it, and that's just as good. You don't need to download stuff to your computer. Now, we do have a video that's available for you on your master contact sheet. People come to Open Friday Coffee and they're like, I need more clients. I'm like, I totally agree. How's your master contact sheet? And are you running the systems and routines we've talked about over and over? I'm not going to bore the people who are here. They've heard it enough. Get your master contact sheet, get that ready, or at least watch the video. And then if you have questions, come back to Open Friday Coffee. We'll help you here. Okay. I want you to be making money, especially for 2025. Stay in business. You got into business for a reason. Stay in business. We want to keep you in business. So, what are some of your next steps? Well, I run this once a year. It's a course. It's called "You're Creating Your Perfect Life." Yeah, real fancy title there. I don't even have like a nice icon or anything. I've been teaching this since 2016. I actually went online with it in 2018. This is what it looks like. Like my icon is a blank blackboard. It's basically how to go about creating your perfect life. I started that because I had taught people how to handle money. I had taught them how to handle their time. And then I realized they still were struggling with keeping their creativity, keeping themselves in a place of enjoyment and contentment with the life they have. And so I created this course. It's 90 minutes. It's a 90-minute workshop that I ran. And it was because most people get this, they're like, oh, when creating your perfect life, it's you lounging around on the beach with your Mai Tai and your umbrella and watching the waves roll in. I can think of no better hell to put me in. This is not my joyful, happy place. My father was in the Navy. I am married to a Marine. The beach is not a fun-filled place for us. It's work. Okay, it's hit the beach. Let's go. I always remember lugging lots of heavy stuff. So beaches are not my happy place. So anytime this is used, I'm like, that's not my perfect life. So we want to help you get to your perfect life. Okay. This is what a beach looks like in Australia. Now, that was something worth fighting for as far as I was concerned. I worked myself like crazy using my systems and processes to make sure that I could get to Australia. I did. I tell you all about it. Lynette's going to put in the chat my blog. And what I did was while I was traveling around Australia for a month, I took a whole month off. And I went to Australia for a month because if you're going to spend the time, energy, effort, and money to get down there, make sure you spend the time. And the interesting thing about that was I published it on Google Docs. So the link will take you to my page on my website. Click the button, it'll take you to the blog. And then you can just bookmark it and you can read it at your leisure. I would go around for that month. I would take pictures every day. And it started off as a thing that I wanted to do to make sure that I didn't lose my pictures. I didn't want to have all these expensive things. So I just loaded them up on a Google Doc and would type things to help me remember. I didn't realize people would want to hang out with me while I did it. I started having people commenting on things on the Google Doc. So when you get there, you'll see that thing. To me, this was a dream that I had had in the making for almost 50 years. Yeah, that's 50. I'm that old. Anyway, there you go. We're going to open it up for questions now if anybody happens to have any. I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today. And yeah, anybody have any questions, then I can help you. Go ahead, Nancy. Thanks for asking.
Well, I loved your Create a Perfect Life workshop. And yeah, it really got me thinking. And so what I did, I put a really huge, big, audacious goal on my vision board. And I'm thinking, well, it's so interesting that you just mentioned about Australia, because my question really was, this is a goal that I'm not even sure that I can attain because there are factors that are beyond my control that may prevent me from having it. However, I really want to focus on that. And yet when I'm doing my 2025 calendar, it's like, how much of that goal do I really put into my yearly calendar, which I'm also in a way struggling to, now I don't say get right, but have it doable.
Right. So one of the most important factors when it comes to creating your perfect life, by the way, that's a joke. I say it tongue in cheek because my life is perfect after I planned it, right? I mean, it's totally perfect. Everything's in alignment. And then the first child walks through the door and says, "Oh, by the way, mom, I need," poof, there goes the plan, right? But it's perfect for that 30 minutes. I stand in all its beauty as I'm looking at it spread out across my floor. 2025 is perfect in that moment. Okay, but to answer your question, how do you handle big audacious goals? I forget who was the one that the coach who came up with that, or writer who came up with that, but it was to get people out of their comfort zone. You're an entrepreneur. Big audacious goals for you are totally different from what I call people normally living a 9 to 5. Okay, so just realize that everyone here in this room is an entrepreneur. Okay. And because of that, I want you to remind yourself, look, you're not normal to begin with. Stop trying to be normal. Stop trying to live normal. You are not normal. And people are like, what is normal? But no, this isn't a philosophy class. All right. This is just reality. You do not live a life that people who work for someone else can even conceive of. All right. They think they can, but not until you're an entrepreneur do you understand. Number one, you are not normal, and you do not live in a comfort zone. I'd like to know what that is. I have been working for myself for over 30 years. I don't remember the last time I was in a comfort zone. So I just wanted to just talk about that for a moment, because as entrepreneurs, they're always telling you, you can't live comfortably. You can't do this yet. They're not talking to you. Okay. When people are marketing in that way, they are not talking to you. They're talking to people who have a routine of their life. They wake up, they get showered, they make their breakfast, they go to work. They've got this routine. We, as entrepreneurs, don't have that. So you have this big, audacious goal, Nancy, that you have on your calendar. And the quick answer to your question is, how important is it to you? And should you give yourself more time? Like, Australia was always on my goal, but it took me 50 years. I was 8 year old when I got that goal. I was going to go to Australia and I was going to see a real live koala bear. And some people said, well, go to the zoo. You can see a koala bear. And I did, but it just something didn't settle. Like, I needed to get to that continent. There was something about the continent I needed to get to. So I would do a lot of things throughout my life to kind of feed my soul, that part of my soul. But it wasn't until I actually got to Australia, okay, that I realized, no, this is why I need to be here. Go ahead, Rich. Go ahead.
Hi, good morning. Nancy, just to your point, I was in a workshop recently where the person who was leading it said, put it on your calendar, put a date, pick a date on your calendar, and not only pick a date, but a time on that date by which you want to have this goal completed. And I, and then in between now and then, just because you put it on your calendar means nothing. But if you can break down, and this is where ChatGPT can come really into help. You can break down this into small, manageable, bite-sized tasks, so that instead of this huge thing that you're looking at, you just chip away at it.
And
I mean,
so,
and I know
yeah,
that I'm speaking, um, all big picture, blah, 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 and all that, but I find it helps.
that is how they build the submarine. So one of the exercises I was given, again, when I was 8 years old, my dad taught me how to build a submarine, and we worked backwards. So for me, it's so a part of my personality, I forget to mention it. Um, what's the last thing you put on a submarine? And I guessed the numbers. Like, you always have the military numbers. You paint it gray and put the numbers on. He goes, wrong. And I went, hmm. He goes, sailors. I went, oh, right. So he goes, what's the last thing you want to have completed? And then you work backwards from that. So to Rich's point, by the way, thanks, Rich. So I've been trained on that so young. I forget to mention it. Start with the end in mind. And then Covey came out with that with his 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Start with the end in mind. I'm like, yeah, he got that from the military. Right? It doesn't matter where it comes from, just as long as you learn it. But the thing is this, entrepreneurs have a tendency to try, this is human beings, but most especially entrepreneurs. They underestimate what they can do in 20 years, and they overestimate what they can do in one. And so when you have this big audacious goal, take your stress off and maybe project it out 2 years. To Rich's point, make it a 2-year goal or a 5-year goal, and then see how that feels. Mainly because you've got this big audacious goal. And I know that you're in SEO. I know you do a lot of that kind of work, and there's a lot of change happening. But in marketing, I noticed there's a lot of sense of emergency. Like, you've got to do this now before the software changes. You've got to do this now. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I worked in an ER, and if somebody is not breathing or they're hemorrhaging, those are the only true emergencies in my okay. The ER really changed my perspective on a lot of that stuff. So when somebody says, "Oh, you have to get this done now," it's urgent. It's like, do not be giving me your monkeys, not my circus, not my monkeys, right? And so, Nancy, I think it was you said one day to me that you had heard, this was a great quote she had. It was, "I've never heard of a marketing emergency." I think your coach said it. Is that right? Yeah, she was mentioning that in our writers group. And I was just started laughing and laughing, because it's true. Is this really an emergency? Everybody's breathing, no one's hemorrhaging. So I'm not going to go racing out there to see what happened. All right. So, okay. That's my perspective. But does that help, Nancy? Go ahead and unmute. What is that giving you helping your shoulders come down from around your ears, like the stress on that big audacious goal?
Yes, and I love the fact that you mentioned that your Australia goal was really a long-term goal for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's not going to be done in a year, or maybe it will, maybe it will.
Right.
But it's just having the goal, having the vision. I think that's the most important.
And then to Rich's point, he's absolutely correct. Make sure you have a date. And if you want, make it December 15th of 2026, right? And why do I pick December 15th? You do not want your goals to end on December 31st. Otherwise, you're working through Christmas or whatever holiday. Hats off to my Judaic community and my Hebrew ha-has. Whatever holiday, all right, winter solstice, I don't care. December has a lot of holidays, okay? So as we come to the end of the year, you don't want to be working through whatever your holiday is, so don't make it December 31st. What you do is you make it December 15th, or if you want to take the month of December off, like many businesses do, then make it the first week of December, right? Like make it December 5th or something like that. You decide. You're an entrepreneur. You know the boss, right? Talk to your boss. But make your goals to be completed on or before December 15th. I've done that for years. I have yet to work through the holiday season for myself. I was raised Catholic, so there you go. I do the Christmas gig. Okay. Yes, Amelia, do you have a question?
Well, you, darling, suggested that you had some ideas for me. You said I should come to Friday Coffee because you said I've got some ideas for you to be making. Remember, I said my goal is to make a big chunk of money within the next month so that I can afford to take enough time off to write the book I'm trying to write. And that's still my goal. I'm looking, 10 to 20K within the next month and a half is the goal. So
have
that
you ever made 20K in a month?
I've made
Okay.
10.
So you've made 10. Make that the goal. See, so to expect yourself to do something you've never done before at that kind of a level is setting yourself up for failure.
Too much manifestation.
Well, it's not too much. I mean, there are people who have been able to achieve such things. I'm not saying it's not possible. I don't want to say that. That's ridiculous. I'd be proven wrong in a heartbeat, right? I'm not saying that's not possible. It's just, I also understand a little bit about some of your stress level. And so to me, your mental health, to me, your physical and mental health is much more important than your monetary goal.
Yeah.
Because I want you to be an entrepreneur in the long haul. Right. And so when I was talking about, I have some ideas for you, you had already done a lot of things. And at the time, you were just spinning and churning and churning and spinning and right?
Yeah,
That's where
I
you
still kind of
were.
am at the moment,
Oh,
sort of. I just like 2 days ago, not even 2 days ago, decided to cancel the membership that I had created for people because I had two people. I had two
mm-hmm,
people join it. And in a
mm-hmm,
month of advertising it and pushing it and trying to talk to people and all these people said they wanted it and it was crickets when it finally came out. So
mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out like I talked with somebody else that's in marketing and they said, stop doing that. She basically said, that's what you're doing wrong. If people say they want something, you have to get them to put money down on it. Otherwise, they don't care. When you put all this money and work and time into creating this thing just because people said that they wanted it, and then nobody wants to buy it, or you get like two or three people and you wasted all that time and effort because people aren't putting their money down. So I have to figure out how to get people to prepay for stuff. And I've never done that before. So if anybody has insight on how to get anybody to like either pre-selling a book or how to like say put your money where your mouth is, put it you want to come to my retreat coming up in spring, this is where you put your deposit down, this is how you save it, and I just haven't figured out like
Okay,
how
it's
to
very
do that.
simple. It's very simple. I have been teaching this for 20 years, and this is what keeps me viable and productive in business. Ready?
Okay, yeah,
I don't build anything. I don't create anything until someone has paid me for it.
yeah, I need to do that. That's
That is against what a lot of the people talking about it. And now I'm starting to see a shift where I'm starting to hear it now, and I'm like, oh, they're finally catching on. I'm always a generation ahead.
well, I
It,
did. I will say I put that out there like last week. I made a Facebook post and I just said, listen, guys, this is what's going on. You all want me to write this book. Who's willing to prepay for it or at least put a deposit, put $20 down on this book or whatever. And I actually got like 20 or 30 people saying, absolutely, tell me where and I'll pre-order it. So and
mhm.
somebody else was like, oh, start a Kickstarter and do that. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that for a book,
Okay,
but
no, don't. Okay, those platforms are great if you have thousands of people on a mailing list,
yeah, no, I have like
right?
2,000 barely.
Right. So for entrepreneurs like ourselves, what I highly recommend is you get your Stripe account set up or whatever,
Oh yeah, I have it.
Venmo,
Yeah.
what, okay, right? Pay what you want. There's an option you can pay what you want. There's also an option where you, instead of talking about prepaying for the book, bring them into the writing process. What do you think my beta reader program is? All right.
Oh, that's neat. Cool.
Sign up for my beta reader program. Okay. It's free. And that's because you get a free book at the end because I'm asking you to put effort and time in there. As far as your
hmm
time, it's just making comments. Don't worry about it. All my
hmm
videos are less than 3 minutes. So it's not like, okay, so if you see a video, don't panic. Oh my God, how long is she talking on this? And then also another thing is hit the gear and put me at double my speed. Go 1.75 because at 2, you can't really hear me very well, but at 1.75 you can. And then
Yeah.
crank up the speed and go through it in about a minute and you'll catch what I'm doing and then mimic that. Only you say to them they need to pay $30 to $35 and you will ship them an autographed copy and you will put their name in the front cover and the book will be done on or before December 15th of 2026.
Okay, because yeah, I wanted to have it done within the next 2 months or so, but I haven't had time to
Amelia,
write in a week. I
how
haven't
many
had
books
time.
have you written?
Four.
You've written 4 books. You
Yeah.
know what you're up against.
It's been a while since I wrote a novel length book,
And
but yeah,
you know what you're up against. All right.
yeah.
So stop doing this. Okay. This is a mental construct. All right. And I am not a psychologist. I just play one on TV. What, what I want to share with you is this. All right. When you get excited about stuff like this, you are so used to putting a deadline and demanding motivation to make you move. You don't
Yeah.
need that. Do you see the garden? Did you guys get her newsletter this week? Her garden. She's like, it's raining, and she has this
Yeah.
huge freaking garden. It's not
40 by
like you're not
60.
doing
No,
stuff.
I'm working my ass off every day.
And
So
I want you to stay alive until you're 95, and you're gonna burn out like Mozart, my girl, if you
I
don't.
already have. Yeah, no, I know. And my back is killing me, so I get it.
Okay,
I get
so
it.
let's move on to what you can do. All right. I
Yeah.
know it's all about making money. I
Well,
know that
for
we need.
for real, the whole thing that you said about doing the stripe thing, I didn't even know that was possible. To, they put like, can we talk about that later? Because I want to know how to do that. I have no idea how to do that. That sounds awesome. I was planning on charging $40 for my book,
Okay.
but
And then they get
yeah.
an autographed,
Yeah.
they get an autographed one, and they get in the front, they get in the acknowledgments. And then when you send, and this is what you
Mm,
do, when you put them in the acknowledgments, you highlight that in the book, put a circle around it, put a post-it note there, and you write in the book, thank you for being a contributor. And that's what you send
okay.
to them. People love it the more personalized you get, because how many, they're going to share your book with everybody. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. And you don't have to ask them. Let them do it on their own. Let them come up with their own stuff. Okay.
And
Yeah.
people are much less likely to to throw out a book that's signed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's not just a book, it's your book.
Yeah. I
You know?
would like to set up whoever you or if Rich, who keeps nodding his head, like, of course I know how to do this shit. Whichever one of you is
No,
able
no, 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 no,
to
no,
tell
no.
me how to set this shit up. I want to
I'm
know.
nodding like a fool because this is what I learned from Janine.
Okay.
So
Well,
I'm
Janine, we
nodding
got to talk about this. Like,
because I've done
I'll
all this. I've set myself up with Stripe, and I honestly have never felt I've never felt more professional than being able to send off an invoice like that, and they could just pay it online, and it's done.
So I have Stripe set up. I don't usually run things through Stripe. Like, Stripe has been like oh, this is how I take credit cards for all my other platforms. I don't actually work through Stripe directly usually. I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah. Excuse me, Amelia. Lynette, would you be kind enough, the one-to-one meeting link that I have? Would you put that in the chat for Amelia?
Yeah.
Amelia, it's $197 for 45 minutes, but it took me time and effort. So I have to charge for that kind of time to
Mhm.
run you through systems and processes. So that's an option. Or you can reach out and get on YouTube, and maybe somebody on YouTube can show you how to pay. So that's your free version. Okay. So if you want me
Gotcha.
personally to walk you through
Yep.
how to handle a book signing. So I only have experience with 22 books and 2005. So maybe I might be able to give you a few tips that might be worth $197. So, all right. Kathy, do you have any questions?
Yes, I do, and it's all about the calendar in
Okay.
in
My Perfect Life workshop really did
the perfect
really
life,
help
because I've
people
been
out.
that really had a big impact on me, but I had a big change. I just took off all of my work off of my calendar
Oh,
because I'm retiring on the 5th. And
congratulations. You lived long enough. I mean, seriously, you lived long enough that you're retiring.
so I've got all of this blank space, and I'm trying to put my, what I want to get done and stuff. However, something kind of came up, and one of the things why I'm retiring is to spend more time with my father. And how do I set the boundaries with my time for people who are thinking I'm retired, and so now I've got all of this free time with my calendar and stuff.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's where I'm at. How do I put that, like what you were talking about with the kids walking in? And
Right. Right. I gotcha. No, I gotcha. So what you do for the unknown, which is pretty much all of life, um, you can set certain boundaries, of course, but you also know that you want to spend more time with your dad. So on your vision board, those are the things that matter to you. Those are A1 priorities. Remember we talked about the big rocks, right? What are your big rocks? Those are the non-negotiables. Those are things that I don't care if your house is on fire. I'll call 911 for you, but I'm not coming over, right? I'm going to let professionals who know that job very well, right? Okay, so that's where when people talk about setting boundaries, they often think like it's a security thing, like I've got to protect myself. No, you're educating the other person that you're not the go-to when the house is on fire. All right, call 911 and get the fire department for that. I am not the expert. I have people with serious mental health issues that will call me up wanting me to assist them. And I'm like, number one, I'm a shaman, so I help with spiritual disease. this is a situation that requires a psychologist. What's their number? And they're like, oh, well, I got tired of them. I'm not going to call them anymore and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, then you need to find another one, right? I am not the go-to on that. So I just want to define boundaries first because I think people get confused. This is how you keep from getting confused. It's not about protecting yourself. It's about educating other people on I'm not your person. I know you think I am right now, but I am not. It's totally different when somebody says, I was in meditation. I was thinking I need somebody to help me with XYZ. Janine, your name popped up. And I'm like, then I will be your shaman, right? Because you went inside first. You didn't just want me to solve your problem. So regarding your perfect calendar and your big rocks, what are the things that you want to do in 2025? All right. So that's the question. What are the things you want to do in 2025? Do you have those listed out?
I'm working on that.
Right. So that's why you're
Yeah.
feeling fuzzy. Right.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
you're
Well,
feeling fuzzy.
I do know about, because a lot of stuff I'm not really sure what my next step is because of where I am with my book. I don't.
Right. So don't worry about the how. That's details. You're worried about details. What are the experiences you would like to have in 2025 or beyond? Yeah. So for me, you will see a woman riding an elephant. Well, at some point, I would like to be able to ride an elephant, and not the kind that has a saddle. I want to be able to kind of touch and play with the elephant, but I don't want the elephant to be upset by that, right? Or I don't want to be forcing myself onto them. So I found about this group of elephants that actually have enjoyment of having people with them because I got to swim with dolphins in the wild. And it's totally different than in captivity. So I want to be in that kind of similar experience with the elephants. So that's why that particular lady is sitting on top of that particular elephant because it's that particular herd. Okay, there you go. So so that's an experience I want to have. Is it going to happen next year? Have no idea, but that sucker's on my vision board. Right? So if somebody happens to say, hey, Janine, we're going on a tour to Africa and we're going in 2027. Guess what happens to that day? I'm like, when, where, how much? I'm going to figure out a way. Right? So know what your big rocks are. And when it comes to time with your dad, he's allowed to push some of your other boundaries. Your dad is not going to ask you at 6 a.m. to go with him somewhere, is he? Right? So your early morning writers group is fixed. See what I mean? That's a primary, that's part of your, for your writing your book, and that's type of thing. So you put it at times when you know your dad is not going to be wanting somebody to ride into town with him, for errands or something. Yeah. But that way you can spend time with your dad. So that's how you set up your boundaries. What is important to you? You put those at times where your dad isn't going to be trying to, convince you to go somewhere or be somewhere with him. And that way you can hang out in his lovely kitchen when he has his 20 some odd buddies over canning tuna or whatever it is they catch, right?
Yeah.
Does that help or?
Yes, it does. It helps a lot. Thank you.
Okay, just want to make sure. And so we're going to let my other Hebrew haha finish eating. And then when Matt is done and can speak, we'll have our 1-minute tech tip for today. And he just, okay, listen, you. All right. Does Rich, what's going on? What can we do for you? What inspired you to join us today?
The same thing that inspires me to come every Friday. To be around to be around great energy, to be around smart people, to be around creativity, no one ever, the first time you did this, Janine, I thought I was going to burst out in tears when you started to tell us you're not normal. You're not like the rest of the people out there, and you just started acknowledging us. And it was like, one of the first times I ever felt seen. And so why do I come? Why wouldn't I? So before I met Janine, I had never even considered the thought of being an author was never even on my radar. I just completed my second book. And it's truly a testament to the power of who you hang out with, I think. Mother always said that water seeks its own level. And I feel like by being a part of this group, I have networked up.
Mm, thank you.
And and as far as the big, I call it a bowhag, a big old hairy audacious goal. I don't know where that came from, but as far as that goes, why not? Why not reach for the stars? You know? And sorry, that's my dog in the background. So
We
why
can't
am
hear
I?
him.
Oh, good. So why am I here? Because of everything I told you. I had some computer trouble this past week. So who did I call? Mr. Roseman. Jumped on the computer. He took care of everything. He took over my computer, and I'm off sailing. I'm better than I was before. So, I come here because I can't think of a better place to spend my morning.
Mhm. Well, we enjoy having a couple with you on Friday mornings. It's the highlight of my week as well. Okay, Matt, do you want to share with us our 1 minute tech tip for the day?
Yeah, good morning, everybody. It's good to see everybody. By the way, Janine, I have 2 words for you, Ted Danson.
Love you
That's
too,
a
girl.
that's a that's an inside joke. If you want to know why, I'll tell you. Also, it was great. Kibitzing or talking with Rich. He's definitely a Mac mensch, and in fact, I'll even mention it. So it was exactly. We had a great time working on his machine and taking care of GoDaddy. But it's interesting because there's GoDaddy, but there's not GoMommy, which tells me there must have been a service provider divorce there. So
Yes.
anyway, so
Moving on.
moving on.
1 minute tech tip, please, sir, if you
Love
don't
you
mind.
too. Love you too. So Google, I'm sure you've heard of them. They are now being cracked down by the government. They want to break up Chrome. How interesting is that? Like Google doesn't have enough of a monopoly on the market. So also Microsoft will be focusing on more about zero-day exploit. They're really pushing their cloud and their AI, especially on the enterprise and business front. So definitely watch for that. Also, we are within the holiday shopping season. And this is the perfect time to buy not just technology and electronics, but all your other things, like from household appliances to clothing and everything else. How do you know when to go shopping? How do you know when the best deals are out there? Keep in mind, I'm Jewish. I got coupon on my DNA. I can help save you money. So if you're looking to go shopping, either on Black Friday or Cyber Monday, let me know. I can assist you with all those different things as well. So I guess that's some of the lighter things. Obviously, there's more going on with all the Apple updates and everything else that's going on there. But just beware of the scams this year. They are out there. They are prevalent between emails and text messages and websites. You have to discern what's out there and what isn't. If you're not sure, let me know. That's where I come in to help you walk you through that process. So that's about it for now. I wish everybody a happy turkey and many gobbles with you and your family. So,
All right.
Janine,
Thank
back to you.
Yeah, thank you. But don't go quite yet. Matt saved me over $600 last year by helping me out with it was Cyber Monday, I believe. He's like, "Oh my gosh, Janine, do not shop on Black Friday. Make sure you shop on Cyber Monday." And I went, "What's the difference?" Well, over $600 was the difference. So if you have something that you are shopping for, please definitely reach out to Matt and please pay him a bit of a commission on that. I gave him 30% because I believe in helping people that know more than I do. Okay. So if you save that amount of money, then please give him a bit of a commission because we're all entrepreneurs. We're all out to help one another. But at the same time, sometimes we have been really burned by our good nature. And so in this group, I always encourage people pay the person when they have given you some advice that you know, for example, I'm going to share this because I think it is important. I had a gentleman that was on a networking group and he signed on to be a part of my 22-minute time slot that I have. I wasn't charging him anything. It was a one-to-one. And he came on I totally missed the meeting. That has happened to me. Everybody gets that first pass. Like he responded very quickly. Because I said, "Hi, I'm on Zoom. Where are you? Is everything okay?" And he right back, "Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. I'm not in a place where I can do it. I'm so sorry. Let's reschedule." Everybody gets that first pass because Lord knows it's happened to me. So then the second time, he's calling me and he's talking to me as he's walking down the streets of Manhattan. And I'm like, dude, I don't think this is the kind of call that you can walk down the streets of Manhattan, try to avoid crosswalks, having people and have situational awareness going on for yourself as a single man walking down Manhattan. I'm thinking this is not healthy for you. And he's like, "Oh, well, we'll just reschedule." And I'm like, "I am so sorry. I've got bad news for you." That's the way you phrase it. If you guys want to know, "I'm so sorry. I've got some bad news for you." That way it braces himself for what's coming. If we reschedule, it's $197 for 45 minutes. Because I have too much up here that I know I can help you with. I am not just going to give it to you for free. I've earned it over the last, I've been working since I was 10 years old in my own business. And he looked at me and he was like, "But I love everybody." He was one of these very open type of people. "I love everybody. I live at the speed of life." I go, "I'm a single mother with 4 children in college. I live at the speed of college tuition. So I am lost 2 potential hours of time because of you and I rescheduling. So I'm sorry, I have bad news." I have not heard from this gentleman again after the text message I received, where he was very apologetic. "I had no idea. I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah." And then I'm sitting there, and at the very end, he goes, "I'm going to go to your YouTube channel, and I am going to watch your videos." Thank you. College tuition. It's still there. So that's how I encourage you to move forward with 2025. If somebody does that to you, first time it's an accident. Second time, it's becoming a habit. Do not give them the third time. The third time, I want you to start charging for your time. Even if you're like some of us here who are writers and we really don't see ourselves as like super business people, your time is more valuable than that. You have life experience that is valuable. You can educate people that way. All right. So I just wanted to stand up on my soapbox. Thank you, Matt. You can help me down now. And as far as cheers, I always say cheers from Colorado because, it's something I learned from my English friends. And of course, Matt had to bring up Ted Danson.
Yeah, well, thing is, does anybody know your name though?
No. They
And
call me Hey You and Mom.
and so I guess that they're really not glad that you came, huh?
Right? No. This is what I hear frequently and often when I go into a contract and somebody, heard all about me, blah, blah, blah. And I'll say, "Okay, so this is what we can do, blah, 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 blah." And I lay out what we can do for them. And they go, "Well, you're not what I expected." I have heard that my whole life. But I am glad that you showed up. So just wanted to share that with you. Okay, guys, we have about 16 minutes before we close out today. Anything else that you wanted to speak about or any questions that you might have had, things that have popped up for you? Okay, well, then we will close out early. Amelia, do you have any other questions? You usually do. And I'm not busting on you. That was meant as a compliment. I apologize. I just realized that may have sounded wrong. I apologize.
No, it's okay. No, I just like you got my wheels spinning so much now. I don't have to like
Yay! Okay, that's
yes.
good news. All right. So the
It's
biggest
good. Not forcing myself to have a specific deadline is good. I've got that little I'm working, I'm EFT, all that other crap to do it, but I've still got that little voice in the back of my head. Well, what if it doesn't work? And what if I don't have enough money for this? And it's like, how do I shoot that little voice
Oh,
and
you
tie it
don't.
up with duct tape?
Oh, no.
You
See, when you try to wrestle that voice to the ground, it's stronger than you. It's
Yeah.
been there longer, right? Okay, so I snuggle with my demons. I do not fight them. And the way you snuggle with your demon is it goes, "What if this doesn't work?" And I said, "Don't worry about it. I know you'll give me an option so that it will work." What is the option where it will work?
Yeah.
calls the voice out.
Yep.
So you approach your demons head on, but you don't give them energy to fight you. You corral them, make your enemy your friend. And when I started making so-called my internal shadow my friend, it was amazing how all of a sudden it took less energy, less effort, less time to do more. And I was able to write 22 books in 10 years. And that was before ChatGPT.
And the other thing is that,
Yeah.
you know, that's just a tape. That's a tape in your head. And you
What's
can
a tape?
choose.
What's a tape?
I'm old enough to know what a tape is.
I'm
Come
teasing
on.
Rich.
I know you are. And just because that tape popped in doesn't mean you have to keep it playing.
Yeah.
You know, you can choose to change that. No thanks. Thanks, no thanks. And then create a new tape to listen to. I mean,
Yeah,
I know that
I'm kind of
sounds.
at a, like, I'm basically sitting here going in, like, screw it. I'm going to do what I want to do. If the universe wants to take care of me, everybody knows how to find me at this point. If they want to buy stuff from me, they'll buy stuff from me. If they don't, it's not my problem anymore.
So basically, if it's a new tape, then it'd be a mixtape.
Let's go playlist, people. I'm all about playlists. So,
You know what you call a guy with no arms and no legs at your front door? Matt.
Matt.
Oh, man. Oh, okay. Listen, you two, take it into a room. Take it outside. My Hebrew ha-has are in the house. Okay. Difference between, we're going to wrap it up today, but let's talk about the difference between inspiration and motivation. This is important. Amelia, what you're dealing with is the difference between inspiration and motivation. Motivation is what we use when we have a tiger after us and we are in fear of our lives. It puts us into that adrenaline cascade. It is one of those things that's like, go, 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 because you need to run because you are going to die if you don't go. All right? That's motivation. It's appropriate if you're in the military. The reason they put you in that place is because you're going to be in that place if you're ever sent to a foreign country or you're fighting something internally, right? So, okay, what's inspiration? Inspiration is you are trying to create something. My dear, you are trying to create your perfect life. And that's always tongue in cheek, you know. It's fun to try to achieve a very fun-filled, contented life, if you prefer that rather than perfect. To me, it's an inside joke, perfect life, right? But
Just like Ted Danson.
just like Ted Danson. So you want to have your contented, happy, joy-filled life, all right? So what does that look like for you? And if you notice, it doesn't have a whit to do with money. Money is a tool. It's the hammer that builds the house. Now, stay with me here, all right? The hammer that builds the house is not what we're talking about. Now, we need money to be able to achieve things, and it's a medium of exchange, blah, blah, blah. However, you don't need money to be happy. Okay, and that's where I'm trying to get you. That's inspiration. Inspiration doesn't care about the tools that you use. What are the activities? You built that amazing garden. Thank you for sharing that picture with us. Oh my gosh, it's raining. I understand. We live in Colorado. Water is a big deal for us out here. So I just wanted to remind you. So what is inspiration? It's making sure that you're staying in that creative phase. And you cannot be in a creative phase if the adrenaline cascade is running, because then it's just fear of your life. It's fight, flight, and they've got 5 of them now, but whatever. Okay, you don't want to be running on just adrenaline. You want to be running on what inspires you.
I'd
And
like to
that's
spend a
why.
whole month in that. That'd be great.
So set it up for 2025. What month? When am I going to do it? And that is literally you're asking for yourself to give yourself a retreat.
Oh God, I need it. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
That's
So
it.
put it into the calendar, and come hill or high water, you are going to go on that retreat,
I'm going to take a break if it kills me. Got it.
right? And it's so funny how all of a sudden somebody offers you their cabin somewhere. Somebody offers to take care of the garden while you're gone. It's amazing how that comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So as entrepreneurs, as we get ready to move in. So this is the Thanksgiving edition. I just want to say, number one, there are so many other places you could have been today, and you chose to spend this time with us today. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for being a part of the think tank. Always, always, always remember that as an entrepreneur, you do not want to be in motivation. You want to be inspired because you were inspired to start this business. All right. The job is to literally keep yourself out of motivation. Now, I know that's hard to say when you have bills sitting on your desk that are wanting to be made, and people have checks that they want with money that's not in your account yet. Growth mindset. I don't have the money yet, but what I do have is 25 bucks. All right. I have one lady that is paying me $200 a month because she can't afford to pay the bigger bill. I am not working on her project until we have 50%. There are so many ways you can do things. Do not allow it to limit you. That is inspiration, not motivation. Because motivation says, I need it up front. I have to have it now because you're in a state of fear. Okay, so just allow yourself to stay in a state of inspiration. Okay, so have a fantastic holiday season. Especially as we're in North America for Thanksgiving. I just wanted to let you know, yes, when you get done with your Black Friday, please show up here before your Black Friday. We will be here on Black Friday, okay? I will be on Open Friday Coffee because we want to help you with any way that we possibly can. All right, you take care of yourself. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye now.